Okay, T10ers, today we're going to look at the ABCs of the torque converters. Actually, the S, the T's, and the P's, okay? Torque converter, okay, this looks like a torque converter. Got this cut in half. Okay, this is called the impeller. Whenever the engine spins, this spins, flex plate would be bolted to this. So check this out. The impeller and oil pump are splined to the power. That's the engine. So whenever the engine is spinning, the torque converter is spinning. Got the P there? Got it. All right. Inside the transmission, this device here called the turbine lives in this housing. Okay? It's splined to the input shaft of the transmission. So this impeller wants to push this to move the input shaft of the transmission. Okay, it's called the turbine. Looks just like the impeller, but it's a little bit different. All right, so what you want to remember here is the turbine is splined to the transmission input shaft, also called the turbine shaft. Man, these guys are great with these names, all right? All right, the next guy we got to learn is the stator. The stator lives between the impeller and the turbine, okay? Here's one, and then here's another one, and it's actually mounted on a one-way clutch. So you got this little lockup going on here, and it lives between the two. Like I said, it's mounted on a stationary shaft. Guess what this is called? It's called the stator shaft, okay? It doesn't move, okay? It's mounted on the oil pump, so stator shaft. What you gotta remember with the stator is the stator stays still from a stop and is splined to the stationary stator shaft. Man, brilliant. Okay, so at a stop sign, the stator is locked. Okay, you're taking off, you got high difference speeds between the turbine and the impeller. The impellers want to turn faster, and this locks up. But once we get to close to coupling speed, that's where the turbine and impeller are spinning about the same time. This starts floating, and that just makes the torque converter a whole lot more efficient. All right. So the last part I want to introduce you to is the torque converter clutch. Since torque converter is a hydraulic coupler, it slips. It doesn't do one-to-one. So up to 2017, this little clutch material here was your torque converter clutch. It's splined to the turbine and would pop out and lock it to the impeller to get one-to-one, make it a little bit more efficient. Starting with 2018, with the 8-speed, with the, like on the Camrys and the RAV4s, the UA80 and the UB80, we have a multi-plate torque converter clutch. So you see this here? It's kind of like the clutches in the transmission, but now we have it in the torque converter too. Believe it or not, this will increase the surface area compared to this and allow the flex lockup to work a whole lot better. So this is a big jump. Again, we want to identify if it is a flex lockup with a multi-plate clutch. It's got this goofy little indentation here, so you can notice that it's got the multi-plates. Hope you enjoyed this.